What's up, Foppers? Shifted here, bringing you the Foppers Game Manual to the League of Legends. This game manual is designed to help new players immerse themselves into a highly structured PvP competitive team-based game with as little hair pulling and llama punching as possible. Save the llama! League of Legends is a highly competitive multiplayer online battle arena, also known as a MOBA. This game focuses on controlling a champion and the many different team-based game types, such as the Howling Abyss, Dominion, Twisted Treeline, and the very popular Summoner's Rift. Since this is such a competitive game, we want to educate you on the different types of people you'll be teamed up with and against. We feel this is important so that you as a player is not blindsided by this, and better yet, you know what to do when the occasion arises. First, you have the team players, who have great attitudes and willingness to do their best to help the team and communicate. Then you have your cocky players. You know, the ones who won't take criticism. You have the ragers who get mad about everything, quitters who think there's no chance, trolls who don't care about anything, and the blamers who think everything is someone else's fault. You do not want to do any of this, because once you start thinking negatively, you start to play bad. Be cool, collective. If you start to feel yourself heating up, just remember, you're playing to have fun. Now, we're going to touch a bit about gold and item buy. We're not going to go in depth about it because it's something you kind of learn over time. But gold is earned in League of Legends in different ways, such as completing objectives and killing enemy players. As far as item buys go, we suggest going with the recommended that Riot puts together for you, at least until you're familiar with the different champions and how to navigate the shop. Now, let's talk about the different game types League of Legends has to offer, and which one should you start with. Assuming you are new to League of Legends, we suggest starting with the Howling Abyss map. The Howling Abyss during champion selection will queue you with a random champion, and since you're new to this game, it'll help you find champions that you like or don't like. The map itself is just one lane. Each side of the lane has one outer turret, one inner turret, one inhibitor, two nexus turrets, and one nexus. The ultimate objective in this game mode is to destroy the nexus. To accomplish this objective is to destroy the inhibitor. To accomplish that objective is to destroy the turrets guarding it. This map also gives passive gold over time, so even if you're not killing the enemy or taking turrets, you're still getting money. This map also seems to not have any negative players in it, so it's a great learning environment. It also has this monkeys throwing feces at each other's feeling, and that's fun too. After you are comfortable whooping players up and down the Howling Abyss, and you have a couple of champions under your belt, we recommend you try out Riot's Dominion game type. Dominion is a control point game type. There are 5 different control points spaced evenly throughout the map. Normally, at the start of the game, one champion will go downwards to the closest cap point, capture it, and defend it. The other 4 will head to the top to the meat grinder, where the level 3 whack and smack happens. The way to win this game is to control the majority of the control points. Once you have the majority of the points, the nexus bar at the top will start to deteriorate. There are a couple other ways to make the enemy's nexus bar suffer, such as killing enemy players and the quests. Now, the quests are dynamically generated capture point objectives that are generated based on the situation of the map. They always involve 2 adjacent and oppositely owned points. If you complete the quest, you are given a damage buff for a short period of time, as well as shaving the enemy's nexus bar. This game type is going to help you focus on objective gameplay, because if you just run around trying to kill everyone, never focus on the objective, you'll lose almost every time. This game type passively gives golden experience, kind of like the Howling Abyss, so don't worry too much if you're not doing well. Just try to help the team out, and have fun getting dizzy in this merry-go-round map. Now that you feel more familiar with moving around the map efficiently, and have a basic knowledge of how to move your champion through the battlefield, we suggest you try your hand out on Riot's Twisted Treeline map. This game features a 3v3 setup, so it's going to be a little more different than what you're used to. It feels a little bit more like the Howling Abyss map than it does Dominion in the sense that there are 2 lanes in this game type. Since you have previously played the other 2 maps, you're going to be well prepared for what's coming up. So from the beginning, you're going to notice something different than the other 2 game types. 1, you're going to have 825 gold instead of the 1350 you had previous 2 game types. And 2, you're going to be level 1 instead of level 3. The objectives in this game mode are ultimately the same as the Howling Abyss, but now you have side objectives. That will allow you to gain buffs and gold advantages over your opponent. Everything that is not in the lane we will now call the jungle. Twisted Treeline has 2 control points. Getting both of them will grant you additional gold for enemies killed and a damage buff. In the jungle, there are also neutral monsters, which both sides of the team are allowed to kill, giving a little gold for each defeated. On the top end of the map, there is a boss called the Vile Maw. This boss will grant a huge bonus to your team, but she is difficult to kill on your own, so you should wait until the whole team is ready to take her down. Now in the laning phase, normally, you will have the option in the top lane by yourself or in the bot lane with another. While in the lane, you will be focusing on two things. 1. Not dying. 2. A new thing called CSing. CS stands for creep score. The creeps are the little monster guys running around who apparently carrying gold with them during war. You want to focus on killing them for their bling. Try your best to arrange when you and your team should push down a tower. The Twisted Treeline is a lot more competitive than the other game modes, and this is when you might start seeing your ragers and quitters we talked about earlier. Try your best to fit the team's needs, and above all, keep a good attitude. Now that you've practiced how to lane and keep control over the objectives, it's time to move on to the Summoner's Rift. This is the map that has the most competitive play and the most coverage in the pro leagues. It starts off the very same way that the Twisted Treeline did, in the sense that you will be level 1, but now you're only going to have 475 gold. There are 3 lanes in this game mode, as well as 1 extensive jungle. Normally, 1 champion who can sustain himself will go top, 1 ability power champion will go mid, 1 champion will go in the jungle, and 2 champions will go in the bot lane, with 1 being a ranged attack damage champion and the other champion who can support them. Let's talk about what's right for you. Top will normally be more of a bruiser type, who's either very tanky stats or has very high sustain. While in the lane, in the beginning, you should be focusing on CS as well as doing even damage trades with your opponent top. It's best if you can kill him, but you know. Mid, you might want to start off by using a ranged AP champion mid, so you won't be harassed too much by your opponent because you're not being all that close to them. Your focus early game will be the same as tops. Jungle is one I don't recommend you try if it's your first time. This position focuses more on killing the neutral monsters in the jungle, which can be hard if you don't have the runes or masteries, which will be covered in a later video. Jungle focuses on maintaining his CS while in the jungle, while also setting up ganks for his team. Bot lane is a ranged attack damage, should be focusing on CSing as well as avoiding any harass as possible. Bot lane support, which is the one I highly recommend if it's your first time, their job is to do help the ADC in any ways possible, such as healing, stunning, warding, not taking the CS, which is a big thing. This will stop any ganking attempts on your ADC. Now that I've covered lanes, let's talk about the objectives. The main objective is to destroy the enemy team's nexus, and it is a lot like the Howling Abyss and Twisted Treeline. Now this map offers a lot of secondary objectives such as neutral monster buffs, Dragon, and the Baron Nashor. There are 2 different types of neutral monster buffs, the red buff, which gives the carrier a hit slow effect on hit, and a damage over time effect. Then there's also the blue buff, which gives the carrier mana regen and cooldown reduction, making it so you can use your abilities more often. Then, you have Dragon, which gives 150 global gold to the team that slays it. Finally, you have the Baron Nashor, which gives you a huge power boost and high amounts of health regen. This is the map you need to practice your thick skin and cooperative play, because those negative players are mostly here. Do your best to not die a lot on this map because other champions can snowball fast. Good luck in becoming pro. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to see future videos.